Hey, what's going on? Dr. Taylor, Aspire Chiropractic. Today, I want to talk to you about hip pain. Hip pain, God, that sounds boring. It kind of is on the surface, but let's get into it. So, talking about our hip. Put this here so we remember. Little anatomy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lumbar spine, tailbone, pelvis, hip bone, hip bone. So, more often than not, people come in here, Dr. Taylor, I got hip pain. Okay, where? My hip, but where? Are we talking here? Are we talking going down the side? Are we talking in the crease? More often than not, in the crease, kind of a key word. Reason being, either people will be A, back here, or B, in the crease, but like, it's almost like they don't think about it till I say it. Why do I ask in the crease? Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on here. On a good day, there are 21 muscles that cross this joint. But there's a really big one, a really important one involved in a whole bunch of stuff that gets screwed up really quick called your psoas. Psoas goes from L5 to the crease of your hip, L4 to the crease of your hip, L2 to the crease of your hip, L1, 5, 4, 3, 2, there it is, and 1 connects to every bone in your low back, crosses your SI joint, sacroiliac joint, crosses your hip joint, attaches right here in the crease. Muscles only pull, right? So if this thing's gonna pull, it's gonna do one or two things. It's gonna pull up, bring your hip up, or it's gonna pull down, bring your low back down. It's a hip flexor or a lumbar spine flexor. Muscles only pull. Bicep pulls, tricep pulls. Psoas, you want to Google P-S-O-A-S. Psoas, pulls or pulls. So but if we are, I don't know, let's say at work, okay? That's me at work. That's why it's smiling. I like being here. But this muscle here, muscles only go from A to B. So if we're sitting like this for 40 hours a week, that muscle there gets really short. And then you go to stand up, and that thing has been short, tight, and contracted for 40 hours, and it doesn't really want to stretch out. And then you will see people kind of doing this. Oh, I gotta ratchet up. Let's flip that around. We're gonna take this thing, where's my eraser? We're gonna check it out from the back side. Why the back side? Well, muscles have antagonists. What's someone who antagonizes you? Someone who works against you. So we're gonna go back to the lumbar spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tailbone again. Pelvis again. Hip bone. Hip bone, but now we're looking at it from the back. What do we know is on the back? It's a big one. Glute, okay? Let's do a dotted line, because more often than not, glute really isn't your problem. There's this tiny little muscle here. It attaches from your tailbone to the pointer of your hip. Goes from there to there. Called your piriformis. That's another problematic muscle. Why is it problematic? We've got nerves that come out of your spine. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to say S1, L5, L4. They come out, they come together, and they form your sciatic nerve. So, if we go back to this guy here, we talked about the psoas muscle in the front. Now we're going to talk about the piriformis in the back. When we're sitting, that psoas is short. When we're sitting, that piriformis gets long, okay? So then when you go to stand up again, go back to that guy. That piriformis muscle has to start to contract. And if it's been long all day and you give it the opportunity to actually work and contract, it'll do that and it'll love every second of it. It'll go overzealous and it'll jam right on that sciatic nerve. And then you'll come in here, Doc, I got hip pain and sciatica. Okay, where's your hip pain? Here, here, or here? Well, it's in the back. Okay, perfect. Sciatica, is it going down to the foot? Does it stop at the knee? Basically what goes on, that piriformis muscle gets spazzed out crushes that sciatic nerve, because that nerve travels right underneath it. So what's a muscle do when it's flexed? It gets bigger, pinches that nerve, sends sciatica-like problems all the way down your hip, leg, down to the foot. What do we gotta do? We gotta come in here, we gotta fix the lumbar spine, we gotta take the pressure off the nerves where they originate from, we gotta make sure the hip is aligned, and then we gotta make sure that you get up. Get up. I say this a dozen times a day. Dr. Taylor, what do you do? Do you move bones? No, I don't. I fix 40-hour per week problems. Sit too much. What can I do? Got to get adjusted. What else can I do? Set an alarm on your phone for 50 minutes. So at least 10 minutes every hour, you get up, you move around, you stretch out that psoas, you contract that piriformis, and you just walk throughout the office. Go bother somebody at the next cubicle. Go get a drink, go to the bathroom, go do something, go move. The biggest reason people come to see me is because they have a 40-hour-a-week job. The end. And they don't move when they're not there. You go from your stationary bed to your stationary office, stationary car in between the home and the office, stationary car back home, you sit in front of the TV, you watch the Rangers and the Astros duking it out right now, trying to see who's going to end the season in first place, and they're spending millions of dollars on pitching. That's neither here nor there. Get up and move. We see hip problems here all day, every day. It's a really common occurrence for people to come in here saying they got hip stuff. More often than not, hip stuff is connected to low back stuff. And hell, if you're super lucky, it'll even cause knee stuff. It'll just work its way down the line. So let's get in here sooner rather than later so this hip stuff doesn't turn into knee stuff, doesn't turn into ankle stuff. Let's get in here so we can move around. For your dads, let's get in here so you can afford to get down on the ground, play with your kids, and get back up again. If you ever need any help, or anyone you know needs any help, send them on in here. We are as good or better than anybody at this kind of stuff, this low back stuff, this hip stuff, this knee stuff, this allowing you to move stuff. You need help, give us a call, walk on in, doesn't matter, we'll make time for you. Right here at Aspire Chiropractic. We're willing to help you when you're willing to be your best. Naturally.